Well, what is happening, Marvel fans, movie fans alike, streaming fans alike? Welcome back to the channel. I am D-Al, and this is another edition. Bruce for loves this part of my live.
Yeah, nice couch there, my boy. I like the pillows.
Ooh,
Yes,
Looking
he
yes.
didn't pick those
fancy.
pillows out.
What'd you say?
You did not pick those pillows out.
I did not. I did not. I'm gonna be
We know
honest.
who picked them out.
Yes. But yeah, I'm testing some background stuff out, seeing how people like it, seeing if I want a specific area for regular like appearances on streams and my actual backgrounds for D-Als live. I saw there's some red and black and gray in here, which matches the theme of D-Als live. So we'll see how it. I'm gonna test the waters, see how people like it. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about my decor. We're here back talking about Marvel. We're back talking about everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Back talking about your favorite Disney Plus streaming shows because we just love
Andor?
to
Alkaline?
talk. Okay. Oh,
Agatha?
don't we even
All the shows with an A?
man. No. We ain't talking about Accolade right
Secret
now.
Invasions?
Not Secret Invasion. Not that. Not that. I never want to talk about that ever again. Ugh, God. I am hearing positive stuff about season 2 of Andor, so maybe I'll give the first couple episodes a watch. We'll see how it goes. Y'all know how I felt about the first season, and I've heard this before. So I've heard a lot of hyperbolic stuff like, "Oh, this is the best piece of Star Wars ever, better than the original trilogy and all that stuff." I'm like,
I agree.
wow. Oh wow.
I
Really?
haven't said that yet, have I?
I'm just feeding it in. That's all.
Yeah, you just egging us on. That's all you're doing. Okay. Anyway, today we're talking about the most recent show that was streaming on Disney Plus. It just finished its finale a few days ago. We are talking about the
That was
highlight.
the finale?
We'll get into that. But we are finally going to talk about the much anticipated Daredevil Born Again. And joining with me today, first of all, I have from the Kingdom of Nerds channel, we have Brucifer.
Hello.
And we have from Blue Cinema, Blue Jay.
No, I'm Max. I'm Max.
Speaking of Max, I did put an invite for Max to come on. I haven't heard anything, but I did hear
He's
that he said
sleeping.
he had to finish. He had to finish the show, so I don't even know if he finished the show by now.
Probably not.
All right, well, let me change this too. There we go.
Oh, not that.
I love how people get mad over chairs.
Dude,
Oh,
it was a
I thought you were
five.
gonna do it. I thought you were gonna do it. I'm Max. Driving Storm's not sexy enough.
My gosh. But like, dude, 5 hours of looking at chairs and people bought into that. I never understood it. I never understood
It's the
be
best
fair, I
piece
was
of
at work.
marketing Marvel's ever done.
To be fair, I was at work. I didn't even know this was a thing. I was just like, I watched the shorter version. The 1.5 minute video. I didn't even know there was a stream of that.
I mean, yeah, I was at work too when I saw it was happening, and it was
I was like, really? 5 hours? I'm like, okay.
I can't believe people tuned in
think
for
the
the
memes are
whole
funny.
thing.
all 5 hours they were actually waiting for that. So I don't know what's up, people. That's how much Marvel got us by the balls. They're gonna make us watch 5 hours of chairs. But anyway, so I think we might have a couple of other guests come in later. Bianca from Myself in Comics said she'll probably show up. Darkness Under the Wind might come in later as well. We'll see. But it's just going to be the three of us right now. We're going to have some good discussion, possibly some debate in there from what I'm feeling for Brucifer. Of course, that's what you expect from Brucifer nowadays. But anyway, let's not waste.
Do I have to get them? I have to get them.
We about to get Hollywood Brucifer.
Hollywood Brucifer. Let's go.
Oh shit! KWO, Kingdom World Order. Let's go.
Kingdom World Order. Let's go.
Well, with that, let's not waste more time. Let us get into Daredevil Born Again. And as always, we have to remind the viewers out there this is a spoiler filled discussion. The show's already finished. The finale is over. I'm sure most people have seen it already that are interested in seeing it. But if you are one of those folks that haven't gotten to Daredevil Born Again, please watch it all and come back and listen to this. If you don't want to know any details about it, you don't want to know any of the reveals, any twists and turns and all that, you don't want to know any of that, go watch it, come back, listen to this. You have been warned. Okay, so the state of Marvel, it's wonky. You know, it hasn't hit on all cylinders. Um, we just came off of as far film wise, we just came off of Captain America: Brave New World, and I thought that was mid. It was pretty mid. I didn't think it was horrible, but I didn't think it was great. We were hoping that it would, continue the momentum that Deadpool and Wolverine did, but it's kind of rocky to say the least. Um, but yeah, and then with the shows, you guys already know how I feel about the shows up until this point. Most of them have not been that great to me. There's been a couple of exceptions here and there, but for the most part, it just feels like I don't know what they're trying to do with the shows overall. So at this point, it's just like, you can feel like Marvel's trying to course correct everything. Like this is, from what I'm hearing, this is the last of the Bob Chapek era when he had this whole mandate of just put products out without worrying about quality. It's just all that stuff. So we're starting to get into the tail end of it, from what I'm hearing. Now, Daredevil. Daredevil, the Netflix Daredevil. I know.
Daredevil bored again.
You stop it. You stop it right now. Anyway, I haven't had a chance to talk about Daredevil on my channel. Mostly because like around when it was coming out, Marvel Studios, like there was a time where they didn't have it canon to the rest of the MCU, so we're like, okay, I guess there's not really a point of like talking about it with the rest of the MCU stuff, even though at some point I did want to talk about it. But recently they did make it canon, the Netflix Daredevil stuff. Now, as far as Luke Cage and Punisher, Jessica Jones, all this stuff, Defenders, that's kind of still up in the air right now. But they officially made the Netflix Daredevil show all 3 seasons. They made it canon, and I was really happy about that. Netflix Daredevil.
You were happy about that?
Yes, because Netflix Daredevil is one of my favorite installments of the MCU, and honestly, I think it's one of the peak things in the universe as far as storytelling. Like there's some stuff in Daredevil that I think they did better than the movies for a good period of time. And definitely breathed some new life into the character after the Ben Affleck movie. So I think a lot of people can agree this is now the definitive version of Daredevil. And this was like the first installment where it actually wasn't afraid to be mature and adult and actually be violent, because a lot of the Marvel installments they try to be family friendly, but this was the first installment that actually wasn't afraid to go there, and I really appreciate that. But at least in my opinion, I know there's other people that have their opinions about the Netflix stuff, but it was adult, it was violent, but I feel like that was in the service of the storytelling, not just for shock value, not just because they wanted to do it. It felt like that was the right tone for Daredevil. And so I was very ecstatic that they decided to make Charlie Cox's Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, bring them into the MCU, because I think they will definitely help elevate the universe. Now, ever since they got brought into the MCU, I will say Daredevil's appearances have been really good. Like they did a good job keeping the essence and the spirit of Charlie Cox's Daredevil, keeping it consistent with the Netflix stuff. But at the same time, they didn't necessarily have to be, as adult as the shows. Like they're able to adapt in whatever situation that they're in. I was very worried about his appearance in She-Hulk, but that ended up being great as well. And I loved his yellow suit. I know people have their mixed feelings about the yellow suit, but I thought it was great. But as far as him as Matt Murdock, I thought he knocked it out of the park, and it gave me a lot of hope for that. Now, Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. That's a whole other story.
Mm.
That is a whole other story.
Mm.
His first appearance in the MCU was in Hawkeye, and they did him dirty. I did not like what they did with him in that show. They almost made him look like a joke, and so that got me worried a little bit about them bringing this stuff in. He got another chance with Echo, which he was better, but still there was some stuff they did with his character that I did not like.
Oh, he was.
Ah!
Oh yeah, he was great. He was good. He was killing it until that last episode. It's like, why don't you do that?
What did you do?
What did you do?
Man, that's my favorite meme.
Oh my god, I still need to make a drop of that. It was hilarious, man.
What did you do?
Oh my god, it was
What did
so
you
embarrassing.
do?
So yeah, that I would just like, dude, Kingpin, I thought was, before that point, I thought he was actually one of the best villains in the MCU. Like, and it's just like the way they were treating him in those two shows. I'm just like, what are they doing? So when I heard that they were going to try and do another season of Daredevil, that's initially they were trying to treat it like a soft reboot, that would feel kind of a continuation of Netflix stuff, but not really. They were trying to make it its own thing, and I'm like,
Doesn't
oh,
make any sense to me. Like, why would you? From what I've heard, it's like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio did not really like how the show was going, so they went to Feige and kind of give their own input on it. And then they kind of agreed. And it's like, okay, why would you even remotely entertain the idea of having these two actors back, but make it as a soft reboot where you can just say, well, let's just give the fans what they want. If they want to take the continuation, just do it. I don't know what they were trying to do with that idea.
I don't either. Also, everyone, please welcome Darkness Under the Wind.
Hello, hello.
I still think they should have restarted Daredevil with the MCU and just forgot about everything in Netflix.
Why is that?
It
Why is that?
turned off a lot of viewers in the beginning because they had no idea what was going on.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah,
Disney Plus viewers are not the same as Netflix viewers. We found
Disney
that
Plus
out.
viewers are the same as Netflix viewers. I'm a Netflix viewer and Disney Plus viewer.
Well, you're Captain Sugar. Of course you're on both.
That's not what does that have to do with anything? I'm on a
I don't know. I just wanted to say it.
Oh God! All right, go ahead, Darkness. Shit.
But anyway,
no.
So originally this show was supposed to be 18 episodes, which is going to be the longest show that of any of the Disney Plus shows.
hopefully, if we ever did get the original version, they wouldn't have had filler in between there. Cause oh my,
It's funny you say that because, especially when we talk about the finale, I have a theory about what's going on with that.
okay,
But we'll get into that when we get there.
okay.
But so obviously when Bob Iger came back to take over Disney and try to restructure things and course correct some stuff, one of the things, well, the couple of things he tried to course correct was not only, well, they attempted to do something with Captain America Brave New World, and that's when the reshoots came in and tried to like restructure stuff to try to make things a little bit more streamlined. And then with Daredevil, he was just like he just said to Kevin Feige, you know what, we're gonna redo this show. We're gonna retool this. We're gonna start from scratch. We're gonna keep some cliff notes for what we had originally, but we're gonna restructure this. We're gonna cut this show in half. Instead of 18 episodes, we're gonna have 9 episodes. And
Should have
so
been 6.
no, because we
Oh.
tried with the 6, and we see how that got us with the other shows.
Or even better, 5.
That might be a good sweet spot. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I say 5 because look at Echo.
Well, yeah, but so I was happy about that. I was happy that that's when they tried to actually reinforce more that this is actually going to be a continuation of the Netflix stuff. It's not going to be like we kind of is going to be, but kind of not really. But like, no, this is a continuation. Now, we're going to try our best to make this show stand on its own. So for people that have not watched the Netflix show, you'll still, for the most part, be able to follow what's going on. But it is going to acknowledge the events of the previous seasons.
Did that work though?
We'll get into that when we get there.
Mm.
But so with this, in my opinion, with this Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and the 2 Avengers films, I think this is the period where this is the most important for Marvel to get these projects right.
100%. 100%. I agree.
Because with Daredevil, you already have a big following from the Netflix show. And if you're going to... Okay, all right, hater. But
well, not a hater. Numbers speak for themselves.
I mean, okay, I get it. I'm not gonna, obviously the popularity of Daredevil did go down after the first season. Like, people didn't love season 2 as much as season 1. And with season 3, I'm kind of confused because there's some people that say that's the best of the 3 seasons, and there's some people that say that's the weakest of the 3 seasons. So I don't even know what the stuff is. I love season 3.
Oh, season 3 is great. Season 3 is phenomenal.
Now, I don't think it's better than season 1, but I still think it's a great season, and I still enjoyed season 2, but I do think it's the weakest out of the 3.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But anyway, regardless of that, you still have people that still love Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and if you're going to bring him into the MCU, you got to make sure they do it right and make it consistent.
Keep him for the MCU reboot after Avengers: Secret Wars. Keep him.
We'll see. But yeah, this is very important for them to do. Not only for them to keep the consistency with the Netflix stuff, but also just to help get Marvel back on track because, we're starting to get out of the Chapek messy stuff. So this is where we're going to start getting stuff in order, hopefully. And I'm actually glad with this show, they're actually going back to being TVMA again. They're actually going to be violent. They're actually going to be adult, just like the Netflix shows. And I was worried about that because you remember the last time they said one of the Marvel shows was going to be TVMA, and it wasn't that at all. Echo. So I was really worried that we would get hustled with that as well, being like, oh, it's actually not that violent, even though we said it's TVMA. But like from what we're seeing from the trailers, from what we're hearing from the creators, they said this was going to be just as violent, possibly even more violent than the Netflix stuff, which I'm like, really?
Oh,
really?
They delivered with a certain scene. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what scene you're talking about too. But yeah, is that melon ripe? we'll get to that. But anyway, I'm crossing my fingers, man. I really am. Like as far as the animated shows, like I've been having a good time with those, but the live action stuff, like I'm still very cautious of that, and I'm just very worried that they weren't going to fully get this right. So like I'm going into it cautiously optimistic, and I'm hoping for the best, but I'm just trying not to set myself up for too much disappointment because these characters that they have here are so good. They're so rich. It's just like you cannot mess this up. You cannot. We cannot afford another blunder like this. So
yeah.
And I watch this weekly too. Because I really, like I said, I love Charlie Cox's Daredevil. So it's like I would just be waiting in anticipation to watch each episode and see how they're going to do. But on top of that, which I'm about to get, which goes into my opinion, every week it just got better and better for me because I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I don't care what people got to say. I don't care what their opinions are. You can have your opinions, but here's mine. I can wholeheartedly say that Daredevil Born Again is the best live action Disney Plus show they ever put out. Marvel-wise.
Okay.
This is the best MCU Disney Plus show they have put out. I love this show. I loved it. I am so happy with this show. Um, man, I was so worried going in, but this show managed to meet most of my expectations. This felt completely in line with the stuff from the Netflix Daredevil stuff. Like it fit the tone, it fit the structure, the storytelling. The storytelling is so freaking good. The characters felt like what they needed to be. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, he is back. He is freaking back. This is the Kingpin that I wanted. This is the Kingpin that we have been watching from the Netflix shows. This is the Kingpin that is one of the best villains in the MCU. He is back. I am ecstatic with how they use Kingpin in this. I of course I love Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock. He didn't miss a beat. He didn't at all. And it was nice to see the returning supporting cast come back, like Karen, Foggy. Well, we know what happened with Foggy too, which we'll get into it in a minute. But like this felt, while it was going into a different direction, it felt like it was for the most part respectful of what came before. And for people that have not seen the Netflix stuff, I think they'll be able to come into this and still appreciate it. Of course, you'll be enhanced if you did watch the Netflix stuff, but you won't feel completely lost. Oh God, what is that? What is that?
Oh.
That was my D-Al bullshit meter going on.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, okay. That's great. That's great. You know what? I think, and I'll put the hot take up here. I don't even know if you heard this, but I said that this is the best live action MCU Disney Plus show they put out. This is the
I
best.
heard you.
This is better than WandaVision. This is better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. This is better than Loki. This
Yeah.
is better than Miss Marvel. This is better than What If. This is better than all that stuff. All of it.
Is it better than X-Men 97?
It's
What you
like
talking about, Willis?
I'm
it's
talking
like
like maybe not MCU in general, but like just Marvel in general on Disney Plus.
I think X-Men 97 has a little bit of an edge over it, but
Okay.
it's like it's really close. Now, do I think this is better or as good as the Netflix stuff? No. No, I don't.
Nice.
Okay.
There
Okay.
is some there's some direction in this show that I thought felt a little off to me.
Because of the overhaul footage.
Hmm. And while I did say the storytelling was strong in here, there is some gaps in the story that didn't make a whole lot of sense if you sit down and think about it, because this show is throwing a lot at you. There's certain details where if like you actually sit down and think about it, you're like, wait, that doesn't quite line up with that. And there's some comic book logic in here that's like, okay, wait a minute, that like if you wait, huh? Because like with the Netflix Daredevil stuff, that felt like just a grounded, like if that show works, not just as just a superhero show, it works as just a show on its own, like, so this felt like it was leaning more towards the comic booky stuff of Marvel. They were trying to put that in there a little bit, and it felt kind of off a little bit. CGI Daredevil fight scenes too, I didn't really appreciate that.
I don't
we
think it
didn't
was
need
comic book. I just think it was bad writing.
no, I'm talking about as far as just like there's certain physics and there's certain like
Wonky VFX.
wonky VFX and action sequences where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know about that. We didn't need that to be like that. CGI Daredevil flips, I don't need that. And I did say before that there is some stuff with the story that, like, they throw a lot at you, and if you sit down and think about a couple of details that happen in the show, you're going to be like, wait, that doesn't fully line up here, whatever. But even though I think this is not as strong as the Netflix stuff, I still think it is a worthy successor to the Netflix stuff, and I think it is a more than welcome breath of fresh air for the MCU. But those are my thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Why don't we go to Bruce first? Let's hear his thoughts on Daredevil Born
My
Again.
overall thoughts on the show.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we really want to go to Bruce first things? Do you not want to skip me? Want to skip him? I'm just kidding.
At least he's straight to the point.
It's hard. I gave an overall season a 7, finale a 6. It's a halfway good show. It's just hard to have watched something like this after you've watched Penguin, Agatha, even Skeleton Crew, where there's good cohesive story going on throughout each episode. There was so much bloated fat in Daredevil. I didn't care about Vanessa and Kingpin going to the therapist. I didn't care about his little Daredevil's side piece. She made no impact on me whatsoever. It was just like, oh, look, she's the only therapist in the city. Let's all go to her. You see, you know what I mean? And then you had Muse. You blink, and his storyline was over. No development.
I can
They tried to
understand that.
cram everything into that one episode. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Who cared about that kid and his crappy childhood?
Muse dying was him rocking out. As fucked up as it is, just mute. As fucked up as it is, there's freaking Muse just rocking out in the office.
And then one thing I did not. I agree with the wonky VFX. That first episode looked like I seen better CGI in Superman and Lois than that opening first episode. That was so bad. So bad. And people was like, oh, that's so dynamic. Him fighting Bullseye, that's something new and innovative. It's crappy VFX. They had to cover it up with the dark. Come on, everybody knows.
Yeah, I can't fight with. I can't argue with that. I can't. I was like, what?
and this whole, they could have drawn out that mayoral election throughout the whole season. You blink, he's the mayor of New York.
Yeah,
that was way too fast. A lot of the stuff just didn't feel right. It's from, I will say, I kind of tuned out when Daredevil went to where White Tiger was killed, and oh look, the bullet ruled here. Let me keep walking like a hobbit in Lord of the Rings. Oh, here's Frank. How the hell did he fight Frank? What was the excuse I got when I said that on streams? They'll explain it later on in the show. Have they explained it yet? No.
Wait for season 2, my boy.
You sound like everybody else. This is going to be good because of season 2. This is good because of season 2. This is just building something. Season 2 will be so much better when they introduce Spider-Man and the Defenders, and everybody else is going to guest star. If a show has to depend on guest appearances, there's nothing to the meat and bones of the show. If you
look at She-Hulk.
Leave She-Hulk alone. It was perfectly fine.
She-Hulk's a garbage ass show. That and Tatiana Maslany can go to hell.
Hey, hold on a minute.
Tatiana Maslany is a great actor.
Say what you want about the show. Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk was not one one of the problems.
I will say that. I do agree with you.
Why
there.
would you say should go to hell? Why would inconsistency out the wazoo?
Oh my! Is she
Because
down there
of
with Brie? Is she down there with
constant-
Brie Larson and what's Snow White?
Oh, Rachel
Rachel
Zegler.
Zegler.
Rachel
Yes,
Zegler.
all these actors in hell now because of bad writing. I don't hear anybody saying
the
Gal
internet-
Gadot should go to hell for her stiff performance in Snow White.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
because Gal Gadot was awful in that movie.
Oof.
The moment she started singing, dude, no,
Mm,
I-
mm,
no,
mm.
man.
She couldn't even stand right. That's how bad her acting was.
Oof.
She had pretty dresses. That was the only thing that went on in that movie.
Some great costume. work.
Yes. But getting back to Daredevil Board again, there were a lot of episodes where you're just like sitting there watching, nothing happens, and then the bank scene, the bank episode.
I knew you were gonna bring that
What
up.
the hell? That would have
Yeah.
been a perfect opportunity for, let me see, Power Man to walk in that bank, be in that bank. Jessica Drew could have been in that bank. Even Moon Knight could have been in that bank. But no, we get Kamala's father. Kamala troubled ass father.
You wanted.
Who, by the way, has a lot of allegations out about him, and he's still working at Marvel Studios. So what's up with that, Feige?
Well, maybe it's because there hasn't been any concrete stuff about that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, or like the show was already done and they couldn't like cut that episode out, so they had to stick with what they had. So.
Which I can kind of understand that.
And it's. I know you're about to say you want more cameos. No, if you're setting up for a season 2 with other heroes, that episode would have been the perfect landing spot for them to hang out, meet up, maybe work together. This way, people that haven't seen Defenders or any of the shows can get an idea of who these characters are.
Maybe, but it depends if they actually setting up stuff for season 2. Are they actually setting?
I don't know, but it will make sense if they were filming. If they had already written out 18 episodes. I'm pretty sure they have an idea where they're going because they've already finished filming, isn't it?
I think they finished filming, or if not,
they released a video saying it's in production.
Oh, it's in production right now.
Yeah, they just said they gave a recap of like a little TV promo of season 1, and then the last thing it says is season 2 is in production.
Oh, I see.
And I'll end with one last thing. Everybody was so hyped to see the Punisher for his 10 minutes he had in the whole show. That whole exchange with the guard. I call it the BVS moment. You're from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. Oh, you're both from Jersey. Come on.
That's not even the issue I had with it. It was the guard. It was so stupid. Frank Castle reaches his hand out, and you actually reach out for it. Are you stupid? Are you actually dumb?
That was the
first day on the job, buddy.
The writers think the audience is dumb.
That was some Sony movie logic there.
Yeah,
that's like you see something at Sony, like there's a post-credit scene, and someone will be like, "Hey, you from Jersey? Oh yeah. Let me see your. Let me shake your hand. Oh yeah. Let me just."
Like, that was probably
Is your name Martha? No.
Yeah, like this is another thing I cannot argue against, and this is one of the reasons why this is not as good as the Netflix stuff, because that was one of the dumbest pieces of writing in that entire show of him escaping. They could have figured out any other clever way for him to escape, but that was just like, we gotta do something, so let's just have the guards.
All right, last thing about Punisher leaves an arsenal in his lair and shows up with a Glock millimeter that holds 15 bullets at most, maybe 22 in an extended magazine.
Didn't he grab a shotgun? He was fighting
machine guns. He could have bought rocket launchers.
Yeah, he could have. He could have brought a Gatling gun. He could have brought a machine gun. He could have brought a lot of stuff. He had like some handguns. He had a shotgun. He had some. What's
And
he
a
got?
knife.
Yeah, an axe or something.
Yeah.
And then Kingpin crushing the guy's head. Really?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
That moment
come
was awesome.
on.
That moment was great.
What? That looked horrible.
No, that did not look horrible. That practical effect looked great. What are you talking about? Like, I actually saw the behind the scenes stuff. They actually made a physical model of that actor to actually smash his head. That was gruesome, man.
You want to get smashed in the head,
That was
Bruce?
gruesome? You call that gruesome?
I mean, if you're
That was
comparing
brutal.
if you're comparing it to Kingpin smashing someone's head with the car door, like, I mean, sure, it can't be as gruesome as that, but
All
still,
right. And
he's smushing
one
someone's
more
head like a
thing.
melon.
Then I'll pass it to Blue Jay.
Mhm.
When did Daredevil get Kryptonian hearing where he can hear throughout the whole goddamn city? That was ridiculous.
That's the comic book logic I'm talking about.
That
man.
was so stupid.
That
He
is-
doesn't even do that in the comic books.
I know, but it's like the MCU feeling like they have to put something on him to make him like more special than what he actually is. Like, we have to give him some sort
And
of
that
like
is
super
why Daredevil
thing.
will never be in a movie. He does not deserve a movie.
Okay, I disagree with you on that. And he already was in a
Fans,
movie. He already
separate
was.
Yeah, I know it was bad.
Put the book down and watch the show.
Put the book down
Yeah.
and watch the show.
I don't read Daredevil comic books because they're boring.
Oh
Look
my
at your background.
I don't have any Daredevil on my wall.
I bet you do. No, well, you got comics.
Yeah, I got comics. I got the first appearance of Batman Beyond, first appearance of Doomsday, first appearance of He-Man, first appearance of Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, first
Okay.
appearance of Teen Titans, Deathstroke, Supergirl, and the 9/11 memorial comic. There is
bet
no
you-
Daredevil on my wall.
Do you have okay? Do you have a yeah? I bet you have at least a page of a paper of Daredevil in that box somewhere.
I have one Daredevil comic that I won in a raffle.
Good. There you go. Now you got Daredevil stuff.
All right. Let's move on from the hater. Let's go on to
Realist, go ahead.
Blue Jay. What did you think about Born Again?
Let's see. I'm going to agree with D-Al. I don't think this is the number one favorite. I guess in terms of MCU Disney Plus shows, if we're just counting the animated stuff, I would say this is by the best Disney Plus MCU show. Number one was WandaVision. But then when
Okay.
this came out, I was like, oh yeah, this is number one. And
You suddenly went quiet the moment D-Als started drinking.
Is everyone to hear my drink?
hold on. I think a little Wi-Fi is a little okay. It's going good. Okay, let me repeat myself. Okay, in terms of the animated stuff, when I combine them together, I will say Daredevil is like neck and neck with X-Men '97. They're both like really like
Mid.
they're close. They're close, man. So yeah, this is the first Disney Plus show I've watched where I was actually really just invested in everything that's going on. And like I know people were complaining about the bank episode. Let me tell you, I don't know. I don't mind that episode because it reminds me of just TV that does that back in the day. Whenever you have, here's the thing: a filler episode doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Like a filler episode in my eye, where yes, it branches off from the original story, but it goes on to his other adventures, but it leaves off certain small details that can build up to the overall narrative. That's how I feel filler episodes. The worst I can ever do is just be an episode about Murdoch trying to, I don't know, find this little kid's lollipop for a whole 45-minute episode, and that'll be it. There'll be no breadcrumbs for anything important. So that's the worst an episode can get. Like I'll give you an example. Like y'all watch Star Wars Rebels, right?
Of course.
That was
So
kind of mid, though. I will admit.
Uh-oh.
well, okay, whatever. There's that. So I remember. So I remember that one episode of Rebels where the Purgils, the little space whales. Now I know people were mocking that episode. They're saying, "Oh, what the hell has to do with anything?" Well, they came back at the finale and they took Ezra away, and later on in Ahsoka, they brought him back.
Which
They
was
were in.
stupid.
They were there.
That was stupid.
Whatever.
What? Oh, let me get in this whale's mouth. Come on.
Oh yeah.
For
So
that
that's how I view filler. It's like I don't mind the bank stuff. They literally in the next episode they mentioned that event happened. Like it wasn't a one and done thing.
Yeah,
At the
they
very
did. They
least,
did.
like even like I bet you the original like Netflix show has some episodes that where they branch up into some little side quest, but they have breadcrumbs that builds it up. So that bank episode, don't mind it that at all. But other than that, man, I I love it when Marvel like it's time for Marvel to go rated R. It's time. We've
Yeah,
did like
it really is time.
this is the real R-rated Marvel, like Deadpool, Wolverine. Not this shit with Echo where it's like, oh, this is TVMA. Like they literally, I remember they showed a commercial and they show like this big ass TVMA sign, like yeah, TVMA. They ain't nothing read about it. They ain't show you shit.
Nope.
The kick-ass show, but I liked by the way. But if you want that violent blood and gore,
You think the fans built up the amount of violence and gore in their heads, and when they didn't get it, they didn't like the show?
What TVMA mean to you, Lucifer?
Excessive cursing, some blood, yeah, a lot of that stuff is way more than TV-14 or whatever the hell it is.
Did you think Echo was a TVMA show?
There was a lot of adult themes in it that I wouldn't want kids to see.
But is
you
it
took that away
any
with
more
TV.
violent than the stuff we've already seen from shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that?
Yes, it was more violent.
The only thing I remember is the person getting shot in the face or something, or like
The roller,
yeah,
rink,
that's
that was
yeah,
that was
that was
that
the
was
only.
that one. You got to realize when these movies get rated, it could be one scene that gets these ratings for these movies. You know, it doesn't have to be out through the whole series to get that rating.
Okay, well maybe they should be more specific. Be like, hey, adjust your Disney Plus for this one episode. That's going to be really violent. Everything else is okay, but that one episode,
That
adjust
one
your.
episode, that one specific scene, it'd be at least a millisecond, like oh radar.
Do you pay attention to the
yeah.
chat while you're doing these things?
I'm looking at the chat right now.
45 minutes and not a peep from the chat.
No, there's there's Rhea.
Hey, Rhea.
Smash that like button, saying hello to everybody. And then Mwamba85 says you're looking forward to season 2, mostly to see what Kingpin is going to do about Daredevil and Bullseye. Yes. And then this war between Daredevil and Kingpin is too personal. No other heroes need to be involved in their war.
Yep.
Hmm.
Just going back to my thoughts. Yeah, I was really invested in everything that's going on. I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I don't know. I feel like this is how many times does Matt has to go through this arc where he has to not be Daredevil and just have to go through this weird arc? I'm like, what do I should do? This type of thing. Just he has to like get out of the costume, which I don't mind. I don't mind him get out the costume. It's like it's not. I'm not here to just watch Daredevil fight. I want to see more of like the politics of Kingpin as mayor, like the New Yorkers' reaction to everything, the events in their city, the Muse stuff, like all that's interesting. I just feel like didn't we do this before with Matt? I feel like I've seen this arc before.
Oh, so you're saying that Daredevil felt recycled, regurgitated stuff that we've seen before?
You're muted. Okay. It's one little critique I've ever. It's one critique I've had, but other than that, I still think the show was great. It's pretty much. I feel like it's time to have Marvel to do more of this. I don't mind like the movies. I don't mind them doing the other stuff. Um, this feels like a TV show and not like a 6 hour movie pushed together, like stretched together into like a show. Because there's some elements that takes time to flesh out, and it just doesn't feel like it's rushing through. Like even though I thought Agatha was okay, it feels like a 6 hour movie where it's just these misfits running around this forest, look like going through these challenges here and there, and it just I don't know. I thought it was okay, but it was just like it does. Like I'm sick and tired of some of these Disney Plus shows where I kind of check out in some episodes and not just glued to my screen. But this thing does it for me.
Mm.
So yeah, there's more to talk about. I do want to get into some details later on.
Oh, you definitely will. All right, Darkness. Tell us, what did you think about Daredevil Born Again?
Okay, so let me just say this real quick. Daredevil Born Again, heading into this show, I knew it was going to be something special. And when I watched that first episode, Foggy dying, and man, that scene that whole scene in general was just, it was so good. And then we get that fight between Poindexter and the Daredevil, which is just so good as well. I don't care what people say. And Daredevil's hearing Foggy's heartbeat just stopping, and then you hear Karen screaming, and then Daredevil's upset about it, and then we see him break his code, throws Poindexter up the roof. I actually thought he died. I thought like they killed off Poindexter. I'm like, holy shit, they killed off Poindexter.
Yeah.
but no, he survived it. I'm like, oh shit, okay, he's alive. How, that's possible. Okay, it looks like the surgery that he got in the end of season 3 really does tie into this show. Then okay, so that happened, and then we get the whole arc of Daredevil of Matt leaving his role of Daredevil after what happened with Foggy, which I liked. I understand why they wanted to keep that. However, it really led to like a problem I had, not with like the whole show entirely or any of the episodes, because every single episode from 1 to 9 were fucking great. They were great. However, the show itself, though, I have a problem with because of the lack of screen time we had with Daredevil. That's the one thing I do not like about certain superhero projects. Moon Knight is a perfect example. We didn't see a lot of Mark Spector or Stephen Grant in the Moon Knight suits. And the show is called Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And this is something I really hope that Marvel Studios does change. And I especially hope DC does not do that eventually, because if they do, a lot of people are going to be bad about it. That's one of the things when it comes to DC they did with Batman Telltale Season 2. And that was something that I did not like. Even though it was great, I did not like that with having.
Did you feel that way with Robert Pattinson's Batman?
No, I did not, because we got a lot more of Batman than we did of Bruce Wayne. Because my thing is this: if you're gonna have the person behind the mask have screen time, you have to have at least just a balance of them in the mask and out of the mask. If you really want them out of the mask to have a lot of screen time, then you have to balance it with scenes that involve them wearing the mask. And I hope that changes with Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And I really hope if we do get Moon Knight Season 2, then that does change as well. And we get a lot more of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant in the Moon Knight suits. So that's where I am with that part. So other than that, though, that's like the only major issue I have with this show. Other than that, I thought it was freaking great. Everything involving Fisk and him becoming mayor was phenomenal. I'm trying to remember what. Oh, John Bernthal's Punisher. Oh my god! And then when we get reintroduced to him after all these years, and that dynamic chemistry and dialogue between him and Matt when we see them on screen together, that was fucking great. And just Frank telling Matt like, oh come on man, come on. What was your little lawyer friend's name? Foggy, right? Yeah. You're being a little, Foggy's gone, man. And like trying to get Matt, try to get that Daredevil side of Matt to come out. Just like, come on, you want to come back in. You want to. Like that scene was just so good, man.
That scene is just like that's great. That scene was great, dude.
Oh yeah, it was so good, so freaking good. And then we get to Muse, and Muse's introduction was fucking sick. I'm like, they were not kidding. This guy is fucked up.
Yeah.
He was fucked up. The one thing I will say though, and I get why people don't like this, Muse being taken out of the show 2 episodes before we get to the the season finale, I definitely thought was weird. I was like, okay, because of how much we've seen of Muse, like maybe we kind of get a payoff in the season 1 finale with that arc, but we didn't. And I still think at the end of the day that, they did everything they could with that. I think the arc was done a little bit well, but I will say though that, and Mwamba, yes, I'm glad you're bringing that up. I'm glad you're bringing up about White Tiger's niece. Which, by the way, speaking of White Tiger, that White Tiger episode, fucking great episode. Another damn good episode. Oh man, I'm trying to remember where I was going at with this. Where was I going? Damn it! I forgot where I was going with this. But,
I'm sure we'll get into it when we talk.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Okay, now I know. The stuff between Vanessa and Fisk was good. That was some good stuff. I like the dynamic between them. Kind of a little odd, if you ask me, when it comes to them going to couples therapy, but it is what it is. But back to the Muse, I'd want to add this one thing about the Muse arc. The one thing I'll never forget about Muse, when he died, him rock the way how the way how his body reacts to getting shot, it looked like he was freaking rocking out to a rock and roll song. I'm like, oh geez, okay, you're doing
a little dramatic.
Yeah, I know. It was a death scene. It's like cool, but it's just the way how it looked. It just kind of looked like it was like out of a rock and roll music video. I'm like, okay, a little too on the nose there with the reacting of getting shot, but I liked it nonetheless. And then everything in the finale, Punisher coming back, helping Daredevil, Karen returning. Oh my god, so good, so freaking good.
Yeah. Okay, so I know we have a lot to cover through this show. I want to start off with this. I want to know you guys' opinion on this. We already kind of touched on this a little bit about, it's like a 2-parter. So one, we briefly talked about the amount of Daredevil we actually have in the show. It was very Matt Murdock heavy, and I think we had like 2 or 3 episodes with Daredevil fully in the costume, and reason being because of he feels responsible for the death of Foggy, and like he went back to killing people when he wasn't supposed to, and so he decided to just retire the Daredevil mantle altogether. And this show is pretty much him getting back to him becoming Daredevil again. So how did you guys feel about them killing off Foggy in the first episode, and your overall thoughts of like having this being more of a Matt Murdock centric show with him actually trying to him getting back to becoming Daredevil by the end of the show? How did you guys feel about that?
Can I go first?
Yes.
I don't mind it. Now the Foggy death thing, I was like, I don't know about this now. I was like, I will give it a chance, but I was like, I don't know about that, because I feel like that scene, I feel like that was just a scene just to get Karen and Foggy back, and that's it. And not have them be part of the actual show because they weren't even in the original concept to begin with.
Yeah,
So they were just
exactly.
there just to please some fans. So, and then they wrote them off. Well, like Foggy died, and then Karen went off to, was it San Francisco or
Yeah,
whatever?
San Francisco. San
Mhm.
Yeah,
Francisco.
she went off somewhere, and I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, all right, dude, you just do that just to please the fans. But I wasn't too, but at the same time, I wasn't like that bothered by that because the rest of the stuff was still great. Like the like I don't mind the Daredevil, like him not being Daredevil for more like most of the series because all that other stuff is still pretty gripping. Like the courtroom stuff with the White Tiger dude, that was like almost nail biting. Like I was almost like when the judge says prove like not guilty, I was like, oh god damn, thank God. I was like, oh my god. Even like the part when they were moving the one dirty cop dude was chasing the other lawyer dude who was carrying the other white tiger in a van, and he did this all his clever like switcheroo thing. They brought him into a taxi into the courtroom, but the dirty cop, they were in a van, so the dirty cop stopped the van. I was like thinking that the dude was inside. I was like, that was clever. I was like, I like that. I like clever stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because like I don't mind like not having that much action. Like all you need is just good characters. Have something like that's not too action heavy, but like enough to be intense. But man, what I will say, once he put on that damn costume, I was like, finally.
Yeah.
Once he put on the damn costume, he was like, as soon he was like, fuck it. He's like, put on that damn costume.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself. So yeah, I mean, I don't just need Daredevil action. If you just give me like something like something to get invested on, I'll be fine. It's like as long as I'm not bored. It's not like I'm not just like a bunch of characters just standing around meandering for like 30, 40 minutes. So that's how I think.
Okay. I'll say real quick that like I kind of agree with you, Blue Jay, as far as like it still feels like they they did insert Foggy and Karen in here to appease the Netflix fans, which I am one of them. I was actually upset at first when they said that they weren't coming back. So in a way, I am happy that they still found a way to put them into the show, even though they're not in it that much. And I thought I would initially be upset with them killing Foggy off in the first episode, but seeing how his death is important throughout the entire show, I wasn't as upset about it. And then Karen showing up in the finale, and we don't see her at all, like in the rest of the show after the first one. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Which once again, I'm sure she's going to have more of a role in season 2.
Oh,
Listen,
definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
well, still, I mean, at least they didn't write her off completely. You know,
Right.
at least that creative hall kind of saved the show and actually think, okay, they do have a plan for her in the next season because this was just made for the first season. At least they didn't, as far as I know, they didn't plan a whole like series, like at least 2 seasons of this thing. So at least she's good. Karen is safe for the next season. She'll have something to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, I like I don't get this whole like thing of like I've been seeing this not only with Daredevil but with other superhero properties as well that want to have more focus on the actual secret identity of the heroes and being like, why aren't they in the costume enough, man? This is a superhero show, man. We need to see them in the costume fighting, man. I'm like, dude, as Blue Jay said, if you give me good character, if you give me good story, then I'm not going to be thinking about how long he's in the costume. Because that's what I was thinking about watching Moon Knight. Now, not only did we only have 12 minutes of screen time with him in the costume, but the character and story in that show was garbage. So yeah, that's all I was thinking about was why is he in the costume? That's not what I was feeling watching Daredevil Born Again. And it's actually a surprise for me because normally I don't like crime shows. I don't like lawyer shows. I don't care to watch stuff like CSI or Law and Order and stuff like that. And there was a lot of stuff, influences in this show that I actually was really engaged in. I actually was on the edge of my seat with courtroom drama. Courtroom drama. Like, they somehow made me engaged in courtroom politics in this show. Like, that's how you know there's good writing in this. Like, if something that normally doesn't appeal to me, like appeals to me in the show, like that's I wasn't even thinking about him in the suit. Did I want him in the suit? Absolutely, but I knew we were gonna get it. It was the long-term storytelling. It was the anticipation. It was the build. Actually giving a crap. So by the time he does come to the costume, it'll feel more satisfying. So I was okay with that. Feels like you got something to say, Bruce. Go ahead. You got any thoughts about what we were talking about up to this point?
What? I really didn't care if Foggy or Karen came back, regardless of the show. You could that first episode definitely felt like it was tacked on. It was just it felt rushed. It felt not put together well. And then the whole motivation for his killing was because of a case, because of a law that makes Red Hook a part of the state that can't be touched by God. What? That is some made up 1868 bullshit. But I don't know. People were so upset about Karen and Foggy being written out of the show, and Foggy's death and her going to San Francisco was just like they were written out the show anyway. So fans really didn't get what they wanted.
I guess I think it's for me. It's like at least they like acknowledge them in the in the universe. Like it's not like they're writing them off completely. So at least for me, at least I'm appreciate that they didn't ignore them completely. So I'm once again, I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect with them if they did bring them in. I didn't know how much of a role they could play into it because of reshoots and stuff like that. How much are they actually going to do? But at least I'm just glad that they acknowledged them. So going back to, I was gonna say talking about this later, but this has been on my mind constantly about the whole them restructuring the show. Because it does feel like this season is set up. It feels like a lot of setup. Initially, as I said earlier, this was supposed to be an 18-episode show. And it feels like they Lily cut this in half and gave the other, whatever ideas they were going to do for the second half of the show, they were just going to turn it into season 2. That's what it feels like.
I see shows do this all the time. Like, you always have a show that's been greenlit for like 26 episodes, but in reality, they just split it to 13 episodes to make it a season. It's been common when like most shows, like all the time lately. Because I was like, you got 9, you got the other 9. So yeah, I mean, I see where you're going.
Because that finale, even though I thought it was great, that didn't tie together anything. That didn't conclude anything. It felt like a mid-season finale. Like, it didn't feel like it was supposed to end there. That was literally a cliffhanger for bigger things to happen. So
well, to be fair, I would take that, then just say, let's end the series on of this finale on a cliffhanger for them to appear on a movie that may or may not happen, because we've seen a lot of that in Marvel stuff. Like, they always build something up, but you got this character to fight, It's like they don't show up. Where's Hercules from Thor: Love and Thunder? Where's my
Oh
Thor
my
5?
God,
Y'all?
we can go through the list of
Oh.
mid-credit scenes of setting up new characters that most likely won't come back. As you said, Hercules from Thor: Love and Thunder,
Jake
Charlie,
Lockley.
Jake Lockley,
Oh,
Charlie
God.
Theron from Multiverse of Madness, Harry Styles as Star Fox, and the Leprechaun guy. Dude, the list goes on and on. So yeah,
So I mean, I'll take that. At least you're building up on a season. At least that we know it's coming. I don't even know if Daredevil's going to be in the movie at all, but I would rather take.
I hope
Spider-Man, maybe Spider-Man Brand New Day. You never know.
you know what? I think, man, like Sony has like this mandate of they have to bring an Avengers character or whatever in a Spider-Man movie. Like they are missing it. I know they're probably not going to do this. They are missing an opportunity with having Daredevil and Kingpin in the next Spider-Man film. Like they are literally missing an opportunity here.
why.
And make it street level.
Yes. And that's why I want Daredevil in the next Spider-Man movie, because it would actually, feel more like a street level thing. First of all, I say that because, to ride on the momentum of Born Again, not only that,
What
but
momentum?
dude, don't pretend like people aren't in love with this show. Come on. Don't you hear the response from people?
I know people love the show that watched it.
Oh, you're saying it's bombing? It's bombing?
I
Is that
didn't.
what you're saying?
I didn't say it was bombing. I'm saying that for everyone that was so hyped for the show, they're not tuning in and watch. They're not tuning in and watching.
What?
I
Can you
don't.
say that about the Acolyte?
Huh?
Can you say that something about the Acolyte?
Oh, here we go.
Well, Acolyte was one of the top with the second top highest rated show last year, right?
I'm just fucking with you.
Oh man, getting back to my point. They
I'm
also
just saying, all these people that are Daredevil fans and were crying for a Daredevil, another season of Daredevil, didn't tune in, didn't show up, and then they get on streams and on social media. This show sucked. Why does it suck? Somebody told me it sucks.
where am I
Instead of
hearing that?
watching it
Because
for
people,
themselves.
I'm hearing nothing but of course there might be a couple of people that say, "Oh, it's not as good as the thing."
I
But
think you're in the wrong corner of the internet, my friend.
yeah, because I'm hearing a lot of positive stuff with this show. Like it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like the mixed response like Acolyte is. But another reason why I say Daredevil should be in the next Spider-Man, because they already set it up. Because like Matt Murdock made an appearance in No Way Home, so it's like
Exactly.
it's not like it will feel like out of nowhere to have him be in the next Spider-Man. And like once again, him being there, and like, dude, Kingpin is the mayor of New York. Where does Spider-Man live?
New York.
And it's like they could easily just make a conflict with that as well, and have Daredevil and Spider-Man team up, not only with Kingpin, but they could also set up other Spider-Man villains as well. They could have Tombstone, they could have Scorpion come back, they could have like a team up with Mr. Negative. I'm hearing rumors that they might have.
Oh man, they go with Mr.
Have them
Negative.
team up
Holy
with
shit.
Kingpin. That would be great. I would totally see that.
Not for nothing. Marvel, MCU, if they wanted to put Spider-Man in Daredevil, they could have. There's nothing stopping them.
Well,
Sony is only theatrical.
Well, isn't there like because I recently heard like there's
Because if that's the case, they wouldn't be able to use Kingpin. Kingpin is a Spider-Man character. Sony owns Kingpin in the theatrical.
So yeah, that's probably the only complication that they might run into, is like the whole Kingpin thing. Like, are they allowed to use Kingpin in the films? Which is it's so freaking dumb. It's like Sony being Sony, but
Sony just needs to talk with Marvel. They just need to stop get out of the way and just talk with Marvel.
Yeah, they really have to. Or Feige's got to go in there and just do whatever they want and just get the rights of Spider-Man back, whatever it takes.
There's no way in hell Sony's ever giving up the rights of Spider-Man. Never going to happen.
And Marvel doesn't think it's worth buying Spider-Man with how much they want him. Like, they don't think it's worth it. They would have bought him by now if they thought that was the money's worth spending on the whole movie rights of Spider-Man.
They're gonna charge you. They're gonna charge Marvel $50 billion, like they like Disney bought Fox or something.
Something like that. But
I mean, we'll see. I mean, but
Well,
you
if
never
you
know.
had-
You never know. Feige could just go fuck it. Like if Marvel Studios does become real desperate, like in the near future, and they're like, hey, we want him back, give him to us now.
if you guys own Spider-Man, which is a gold mine, would you just sell it to people? Sell it to back? If you
No.
owned it yourself? No.
no.
You would rent them out like a motherfucker.
Right. Unless the only way I would is if Spider-Man somehow started losing money. That's probably the
That's
only.
never going to happen.
That's the thing. It's not going to happen. That's
Never
that's
gonna
probably the only way.
Yeah,
That's
wait
the only
till
way
Brand-
they would sell it.
Wait till brand new day. We got Beyond the Spider-Verse in literally 2 years, so we're eating good for Spider-Man fans for now.
Yeah.
I
And then you
think-
throw out another Spider-Man video game.
Oh yeah, that probably be coming
Yeah.
out like 2 or
Yeah.
3 years or so.
Those-
Marvel
Spider-Man video-
Spider-Man 3.
Those Sony Spider-Man games, they printed money.
Yeah. So, as much as we don't like it, Sony's going to have Spider-Man for a while, a long time.
They already had them 30 years, so have them another 30 years.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, what did you guys think about Kingpin in the show?
He just came off as a whiny bitch. Wah, Vanessa, want my wife, wah.
I like the
this
part where,
consistent with the Netflix show though.
Yes, it's just like move on already. Let him
That's
leave
his.
her.
That's his wife. What do you
So
mean?
what?
That's probably the only person that's keeping
He
him
cheated.
somewhat sane.
He
Somewhat.
literally
sane.
cheated
That's the
on
same
him.
way-
Oh, imagine in Daredevil Born Again season 2, Poindexter kills Vanessa,
Oh God. Oh
and
no.
imagine what
Kingpin will
becomes.
be full on Kingpin
Is
100%.
he really saying now?
Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
I
like.
my favorite part. I think for some reason my favorite part of Kingpin is just him in his office eating a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, with a fork and a knife.
Yeah.
Yes, he's like
That was funny.
you like your cheesesteaks. He got a whole bib on. His he got a napkin on. It's just like I was like, hey, I mean, he's not wrong. They're good as hell. He ain't
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck
I-
that cheesesteak for no time.
Philly cheesesteak. Oh yeah, Philly
Um,
cheesesteak.
I do. Oh yeah, my also favorite part. When the fight with him and that one dude in this little dungeon thing that he got going
Oh
on.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Where-
yeah.
I think he cheated on I think Vanessa cheated on him or something like that. It was like that fight between him and then you got Daredevil and Muse, like that whole cut fight thing.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was amazing. I love
That was
that.
That was
Like,
dope.
like Kingpin, like he just handed him this axe, like fight me. Oh yeah, Adam.
Adam.
He's like, fight me. And it was just like beating the fucking shit out of him. I'm like, dude, Adam, you are dead. Dude, he was lucky. You was lucky to be alive from that one fight. I'm surprised he's still breathing. He
Yeah.
just throw him on top of ceilings and freaking brick walls, and he's still breathing. I'm like, bro, you have no match against Kingpin. Even though how
None.
big that dude is, he got some grooves.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, as I said, this is the Kingpin that I wanted. Like, once again, he's back to being this scary, intimidating figure. But I also thought the stuff with him becoming mayor, I thought was very interesting as well. Because initially you think he's actually trying to, help with the city and stuff like that. But of course, in the back of our mind, we're thinking, oh, there's something's not right with this. Like, something doesn't
Mhm.
feel right. Like, I love just seeing all the stuff that, he's doing as far as him being mayor and him talking with his people or whatever, trying to work campaigns and all the other stuff, and him just like going like there was that what was that scene in the on the bridge, and I think there was like a what was it? There was like a there was a hole in the bridge or something like that, and he just walked out of the car and be like,
Oh
"To
yeah,
approve,"
Yeah.
yeah,
there was a hole in the bridge, and he's like, we're gonna fix this right now. He
Yeah.
brought all the crew together. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
That shit should have been fixed like day one, but okay.
He's
you gotta
really
fix
for
that.
the people.
Like I agree with him. I agree with
For
him.
the
Like
people.
you're gonna leave that you
Yeah,
leave that hole
exactly.
there for just traffic to come out. Like we gotta fix this now.
You gotta fix it now. Take an action. But
Yeah.
I did get hyped when he said, "When I was a boy." I was like, "Yes, he said the thing."
he said the thing.
I will say this about that scene with the hole.
Yeah.
If you live in New York City and you call 311 on your phone, literally the next day they're out there fixing holes. So I was just like, what city are they in?
Oh, that's good to hear. I wish we could have that in Michigan.
Oh, I heard about Michigan.
Oh man, it's a nightmare.
Oh.
but yeah, I just like that. I like seeing the whole politics with Kingpin. I thought that was very interesting, and I actually like the stuff with him and Vanessa. You know, because that's that's one of the few things that's making Kingpin somewhat human. You know, that keeps him from just being another um generic bad guy that wants to take over, you know, because like he actually has feelings, he actually has people that he cares about, and seeing, you know, wanting the approval of his wife, actually going to counseling and trying to figure stuff out with him being away from Vanessa for a long time, and Vanessa having to pick up the pieces that Kingpin left off. So that whole conflict with that I thought was very interesting. And he was never treated as a joke. He wasn't treated like, you know, like he was in Hawkeye and Echo. Like there was none of that, none of that bullshit. Like he actually,
I think they referenced what the events in Echo. I don't know.
they did.
Hawkeye.
They did.
Hawkeye. No,
Oh, Hawkeye. Oh,
yeah, it was Hawkeye.
Hawkeye?
It was
Okay.
the eye. Hawkeye with the eye shot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
didn't
didn't you
he
get
even
shot in the eye?
No,
Yeah.
that's how you know that scene was bad. They didn't even fucking remember. They didn't even reference that episode an Echo. They just didn't. They just completely
Yeah,
just
they were just like,
ditched that. Like, he was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, he was crying in the bed like, oh, what did you do? What did you do?
oh my gosh. But yeah, that's like, this not that Kingpin is not here. Like this is once again going back to him being one of the most imposing antagonist villains in the MCU. And it's like I really hope we could see him in a movie one day. I really do.
Oh God, you have no idea
Watch,
how much I want that.
Watch Echo be pops up in season 2.
I wouldn't
She
be
might. She
opposed. I
actually
wouldn't
might.
oppose yeah, I actually wouldn't be against that because I do
Oh,
like
yeah,
Echo.
I like her. I like her as a character. I think she's pretty. I think she's awesome.
I only like her as the
that
silent
cross
death
shit.
killer, not with her powers. Silent
Don't do
death
that cross
killer.
shit. I don't know what the hell was up with that.
Yeah,
I forgot what that cross shit was. Like it just I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't.
That
All
was
right. Let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
If the numbers for season 2 do not pick up, you think they should proceed with a season 3?
If they're not already in production, like I'll be fair. Like if the numbers do go down, then yeah, I don't see them continuing with another season. It's the same thing with any of the other Disney Plus shows. Like, you know, I don't think we're going to see another Moon Knight season. I don't think we'll see another She-Hulk season. Unfortunately, I don't think.
Good.
I'm glad.
I'm glad they're not doing a She-Hulk season 2. Thank God. That's the one thing I will say. Like, thank God they're not doing a season 2 of She-Hulk.
let that
But
shit go.
Moon Knight.
Okay.
Moon Knight. That is a missed opportunity, especially with how complex the character is. That was a missed
Well,
opportunity.
see, that's the thing though. we talk about something like Moon Knight and She-Hulk. Those are like mini series. They don't even like they're. That's the thing. Before all those shows came out, when they announced that they were doing these Disney Plus, these shows, I thought they were like,
Yeah, they were
like
limited one season, both of them.
yeah. Well, this was like way before, like I think like less than a year before Disney Plus was out. I thought they were like, some of like the more established characters they can be limited series, and you get like newer characters. They have their own adventures, be like actual TV shows. I didn't I didn't really think that because I think they're in watching them. They're like bigger budget shows, and they really I don't know. They kind of lost traction. They kind of lost like what direction they're kind of going.
Well,
Um,
if the concept art for Doomsday is to believe, She-Hulk will be back in Doomsday.
Yeah.
No,
I actually wouldn't be against that. I actually would want
I
to see
wouldn't
her.
mind it. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind it. It's just there's just so many characters in that movie. I'm like, I was surprised that Namor is even in this movie.
I'm
Like
surprised he's not in jail.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
looks like
once
Marvel Studios
again,
didn't let him go.
I
Yeah.
was like, it's like
No proof.
no concrete
proof.
evidence. Yeah.
I feel like these Disney Plus shows, they feel like I think they feel like 6-hour movies stretched into a limited series. Um, and they have all this meandering padding going on, and then when you get something like this, that feels it to me. It kind of feels like just natural television. It's like I don't know. It's this weird feeling that I have.
Yeah. Well, it feels like now they're trying to transition. They're trying to improve that as far as making the shows actually feel like episodic shows. Especially with this one, it as you said earlier, it does feel more episodic. It feels more like a show instead of an extended movie, um, which is what I appreciate. Um, okay, let's talk about what Heather, the
Oh, the
therapist.
therapist.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the therapist.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the actress.
I didn't
Um,
mind her, to be honest.
I don't mind.
She was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I just didn't see love interest in Angle, but okay.
Yeah, I mean,
She's okay.
I see what they were trying to do, like, trying to give Matt try to give Matt some companionship. Ever since he, left being Daredevil, he feels like he's somewhat trying to implement some normalcy into his life, but that doesn't fully work as the show goes on. But yeah, I do agree they could have done more to develop their relationship a little bit more because we're just thrown into it. It's like, oh yeah, they're just like there was one scene where they just what they were setting them up to meet, and then the next episode they're together. I'm like, oh, okay.
I feel like she came out of nowhere. And I was like, I
She
thought she
kinda
was like
did.
some sort of character to talk to, and then all of a sudden they're okay, they're together. I was like, okay, I'll roll with it. I'll roll with it. I think she was bad. I think I have to just forget that she's there.
Yeah. And personally, it didn't really bother me that, like, the coincidence that she ends up being the therapist of Vanessa and Kingpin. Like, that didn't really bother me. Like, I think that's just
Yeah, that didn't really bother me that much either. It was just like, okay, cool. Like,
They
forget
didn't have chemistry at all.
They didn't, but I think that was done on purpose because, like, even then, it's like when Matt seems like very distant and like not fully into their relationship, and they talk about that in the show. So it's like I don't think it's an underlying thing of like it feels like he's not fully in it. So
It's also the fact that she's a New York Five.
what? She's a what?
She's a New York Five.
She's a new. What does that mean?
I thought you said New York Pie.
I'm from Michigan. What does that mean?
You said a new- I thought you said-
she will be an 8 everywhere else, but in New York she's a 5.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I thought you said New York Pie. Like what the
No,
hell is that? She's
I didn't say anything
pie?
about cream
I like
pie.
pie.
Oh god. Oh
come
my
try out New York Pie in the form of Heather from Daredevil Born Again. You want to have some of her face and lick it?
You know the whole thing about her trusting.
What did you just say?
Okay.
Oh,
You want some of her face to go in and lick it?
What the hell is even that?
oh my god. Anyway, what were they saying? What was
I'm
somebody
so
saying?
confused. I am so confused.
Ah,
And why was I don't know? It just she trusted Kingpin way too fast, and trusted
yeah.
him over Matt.
Yeah, that was like when it does that whole thing where like he's no good. He's no he's very bad. And she's like, man, I'm going to this party and you can't do nothing about it. It's like, okay. We're doing this song and dance again. Like
It's your funeral.
like she's bad. Well, I think he's amazing. Well, I'm going to this party and have some fun. You're invited. Well, if you can't, go fuck up.
All I know is she couldn't see through Kingpin's act. She's a horrible therapist. Her license should be taken away. She shouldn't have to move out the state.
yeah. I mean,
That's her job to analyze people.
right. And it's like you already like people already know about Kingpin's past and stuff like that. So I think she should be more like trying to probe his mind a little bit more, like to make sure that he's actually changing as a person, and he does.
She literally believed that he was physically abusing his wife. And then 2 episodes later, oh, he's my best friend. What?
Well,
What?
that's just lazy writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, yeah, she's just there. Like, there could have been something interesting. There could have been something more interesting with, with her being the love interest of Matt, and then also being the therapist of Kingpin. There could have been more interesting dynamics they could have done with that, but it was just there. It was just there.
I think she's like one of those. She's like one of those love interests that kind of keeps away from the main love interest, like Karen and Matt, that keep them. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the White Tiger stuff?
Oh, the White Tiger stuff was great. That was great.
Yeah,
And
I was mostly interested in the courtroom stuff. Then I just forget that. Oh yeah, the dude is supposed to have powers. He has a magical necklace, and they just treat it. Well, I do like the fact they treat it like it's a normal thing because oh yeah, we're in the MCU because we have alien invasion in the Avenger movie. We have freaking Satari people. People got snapped, and then it was like. Oh yeah, they mentioned that. Oh yeah, he might be a Skrull. I'm like, I just love the fact that they're in the MCU.
yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
They just became nonchalant and just referencing things. Like I love that. It's just like yeah, we're in it. It's a more lived-in world.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I will say this though. I will say this to the question that you asked about. What was the question you asked again? I don't know why. I already forgot it for a minute. I literally don't know why.
About the White Tiger.
Oh, White Tiger. That's right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why I forgot that for a minute. But well, the one thing I will say though is that when it comes to his niece, I really do think that in the next season we're going to see her take up the mantle. I really do.
Yep. I think that's definitely what they're
She's like
setting up.
12.
She's going to take up the mantle. I know she is. Or if not the mantle, she's going to begin training, and then we're going to see that later on down in the MCU reboot when it does reboot in Avengers: Secret Wars.
Yeah, I definitely, I can see that definitely.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see that actress. I forgot.
Hold on,
Daredevil.
Lucifer. We're about to get Damian Wayne in the DCU, and you're saying that she's too young.
Yeah, exactly.
Damian Wayne's been trained since he was born to be an assassin by some of the top assassins in the world. She walks to a bodega and all of a sudden she's White Tiger. Get the
I think.
Okay.
what training does she have?
Hey, if Daredevil's training her, possibly, then she could be a little Robin to
Bruce Wayne now taking sidekicks?
I mean, why not? Doesn't he work with? with
What about
doesn't-
finesse?
Yeah, finesse. Yeah, exactly.
Look at your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in the ending, the very ending of that show.
He reluctantly works with the Punisher, the Defenders. Come on now.
Yeah, we might
He's not
see
taking
him.
on teenage sidekicks that put their lives in danger.
Well,
That goes against everything he believes.
What is her name? What is the niece's name?
Angela.
Unknown actress
Angel?
number 3.
Angela.
Angela.
Yeah.
Trying to see if she has an IMDb.
Oh, the actress name? I don't know the actress name.
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm trying
don't
to
know.
see Angela. Okay, there we go. Camila Rodriguez.
Okay.
What has she been in? She was in the new Wizard of Waverly Place show on Disney Plus.
Oh, Wizards Beyond Waverly Place.
Oh, okay. She's been in small stuff, but you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, give it time, I guess.
Yep.
Give it time.
Just give it time.
Sure, it may not be even the next
Do we
season.
really need White Tiger back?
I actually want to see more of White Tiger because we just got a little tease of it in this show, and I thought from what we saw from it, I thought was really interesting. So
we really didn't see what he was capable of. We saw grainy, weird video footage of him fighting in a bodega, pretty much.
That's why I would want to see more, to actually see what White Tiger is capable of,
Hey,
and
Bruce,
seeing somebody else taking on the mantle. I think that would be cool.
There you go, Bruce. Take a page from Mwaba. Her character was trained by Hector Ayala. Did Danny Rand look up and Danny Rand look up White Tiger history? You'll have computers.
Hector Ayala. It may be that in the comics, but Hector Ayala is dead. He can't train anyone. And Danny Rand, he's not coming back to the MCU after that horrible Iron Fist show.
Well, you never know. They may try and bring Iron Fist back.
I mean, look what was set up by the very end of this show. We're likely going to get maybe the Defenders back, maybe some other heroes.
Oh,
Poindexter might team up with Daredevil to form a temporary alliance against Fisk, which leads to them fighting again. And Punisher is going to be coming back next season to team up with Daredevil. And you never know, man. We might also get Echo, and if we do get Echo, we might get another.
Oh God!
What did you do?
How about we start with all the new characters and develop the characters we have already? Has already been introduced.
Okay, so we just we just have White Tiger to introduce because everyone else is already established.
Oh God!
No, White Tiger's dead.
Well, they're gonna have a new White Tiger.
Yeah,
Mark
we're gonna
my
have
words.
No one a trainer.
White Tiger show when?
There's literally Matt there. If you don't think that Matt's gonna train White Tiger, you out of your mind. It's gonna
Okay,
happen.
I have a question for you guys. That's been kind of eating me throughout ever since the finale dropped.
That's called syphilis.
I know. Okay, am I crazy?
Yes.
Don't answer that. And am I crazy when the commissioner was in the car, and then you see the dude from the rear windshield, and he says Luke. Then you think that was Luke Cage? I got excited at first.
Yeah, there was a brief moment where I was like, "Oh, Luke Cage," but then
I was like, he was like, okay. First off, when I watched that scene, the dude was like, Luke, I was like, I freaked the fuck out, and I was like, it's just an eye in the sun, the rear view rear mirror. Then he looked at him and was like, "Why look a little thin?"
Oh my gosh.
I didn't
That
really
was
think
him.
much of that at first. I was just
No.
like, oh, Luke, okay.
No, I was like, dude, okay, it's a black dude named Luke in a Marvel show. Who else named Luke? Who else is a black dude named Luke in a
I can
Marvel
understand
show?
that. I can
Luke
understand
Jackson from 125th Street.
that.
Oh God.
I got hyped for a minute, and I was like, okay, why Luke? Like, it could be anybody. Like, name, like, it could be a guy named, I don't know, Bruce. A black guy named
A
Bruce.
DC and Marvel crossover.
No.
So since we're on the topic, let me hear y'all opinions about it. Do y'all think they should bring back Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist? Do you think they should try and reform the Defenders again
I
with
think
the
they
original
should.
actors?
I think they should.
I mean, they brought Daredevil back. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why not? Why not
Well,
I
bring?
mean,
I
they
think-
know that that people love those characters and those iterations. They brought them back for a reason. Come on.
But let's not forget that those Netflix shows, by the time they hit their second and third season, the viewership fell off a huge amount. People stopped caring.
Yeah,
So-
I think this is the MCU can like bring them in and write them. better.
Really? Really?
I think they could. I think it's
They
possible.
brought-
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
possible.
If they
They
can
might-
bring
they might
X-Men
redeem
back,
them.
because apparently everybody hates the X-Men now. They can bring back the Netflix characters back.
Hey,
Exactly.
if they can make the Fox X-Men better, then I can believe that.
I still hate the X-Men. Stop.
I mean,
I
I
hate
do
those
too.
movies.
I do too.
Movies
But
were
like, if
bad.
they can do anything to make it, if they can do anything to make them feel more comic booky, then I will be happy with it because those Fox X-Men movies were scared to be comic booky. So
Okay, first of all, hold up. And Mwamba, dude, okay, you have to understand, if you see somebody named Luke in a Daredevil show, what the fuck do you expect? I got excited first. I'm not the only one that got excited first. I'm like, no shit, not everything has to be an Easter egg, okay? Everybody was like that. And like they were like Reddit posts all over the place about that shit. And I was like, come on. Like a black dude named Luke in a Marvel show. What else? Who else? You put two and two together, bro. Come on. Like I literally got hyped for like a split second. I was like, that dude look a little thin.
All I know, I hope Kevin Feige and everybody at Disney have sent their reps to go watch Sinners and they can see what true storytelling is. Just saying.
yeah, I'm not
Just
even going to
saying.
argue with that because I hear
Just
how great
saying.
Sinners is. So and I still
Coogler
need to
doesn't.
see Sinners,
Coogler can do no wrong. I feel like.
right? Dude, like if you need a Blade film, Ryan
Yeah.
Coogler, give
Oh.
Ryan Coogler a call, man. Like,
Hurry up on Blade already, Marvel. Oh,
I don't
man.
even do at this point. I don't even give a shit if Coogler goes back to Marvel or not. I just want him to make more movies.
Well, he has to go back for Black Panther 3 that he
Oh,
Yeah, that's
then they
true.
said
true. I
then
mean,
then
either
Michael
or-
said
either
he
or
wants
the
him
dude-
back at DC.
the dude is still like a god to me.
but yeah, going back to the Defender stuff, if they were to bring back the original actors, I think maybe they could do like one season of Jessica Jones, just one. But I would do another
Throw in
season.
some things.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do another season of Luke Cage or Iron Fist. I think they should do Heroes for Hire, put them both in the show, make it a buddy cop type of thing, and package Iron Fist as well. But like I would do a Heroes for Hire show. I would probably do one season of Jessica Jones just to reestablish her. Since they're already doing, apparently they are going to do a Punisher one-off thing too. So do that same thing with Jessica Jones, and then later in the line, if they want to do a Defenders, show, they could do it that way too, and maybe introduce other vigilantes in there as well to expand the team. Maybe that's
Yeah.
probably how I would do it.
Yeah, I
Mm.
agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. But who knows, man? Who knows? We're getting Daredevil Born Again season 2 next year, and then before that, we're getting the Punisher special presentation, which I am really
Mhm.
looking forward to. And if Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be a street level film, I mean, hey, man, oof, possibilities are. It's going to be a good time for street level MCU fans.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, I want to get into Muse a little bit more. Um,
Oh yeah,
so
the guy who died from a rocking out. Yeah.
yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong. Muse does actually have powers in the comics as well.
I think he does. I think. I don't know
I have
much about the
I have
character in the
no
comic.
idea. I don't read Daredevil.
Just from what I hear, I don't even. I'm not even that well known about.
I know about Muse the band.
Of course.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about Muse.
Well, anyway, regardless of that, I thought for what we got of Muse in the show was very, very good. Like this guy, this is a psychopath. Like
Oh, very.
He has
serial.
superhuman strength and speed and expert combatant, which we did not see that.
No, we did not.
Did not see that.
We
No.
saw a little bit of that with him and Matt, but that was barely anything.
Yeah. So,
I
but
hated Taekwondo. I really hated Taekwondo. What?
but yeah, like actually getting like this freaking serial killer, and like he was freaking terrifying in the
Oh
show.
yeah.
So like the stuff that he was doing like in his lair and stuff like that with people, it's just like that was disturbing. I'm like, wow, like I didn't think they would go this far with as far as like villains in the MCU. Now this is why I want to see stuff that's more adult, because we get stuff like this and that helps to raise the stakes as well. Now, granted, yeah, they didn't need. I said that they shouldn't have killed him off as quickly as they did. They could have
I
done
was shocked that
more
they
with
did
that
that. I was
character.
like, wow.
So yeah, it's that MCU syndrome. It's like they can't resist being like, oh, we can't keep him alive. We gotta kill him. We gotta do it. It's like, dude, you don't have to kill every villain in every film. Like, come
Right.
on.
But no, it was shocking though in that moment. I was like, oh shit. Well, Muse is dead. We're before the final episode. Muse is dead. Holy shit. Wow.
He's
I
dead.
feel like that all that buildup was almost for nothing. It was like they build him up. We don't see enough of him in like the show, and then we actually have a fight with him in one episode. The next episode, he just pops in, has Heather in hostage. Matt comes in to save him. Beast, have a little fight in the office, and then bam, dead.
Yep. Heather kills him out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised by that. I was like, oh, whoa, what the hell?
It's like, Jesus. Well, short lived.
Actually, I do have another. Here's a question. So, how do you like? Okay, I know like Daredevil has. It's more like a Daredevil has been like in the MCU, but like the Netflix shows never really mention what really like never have a concrete answer that they're in MCU or not because of the whole Netflix stuff with the MCU stuff. So, how do you actually feel with Daredevil and Kingpin actually in the MCU? Like all the events that ever happened.
Okay, so that's the more complicated question, because obviously there are that stuff that goes on in the Netflix stuff that doesn't fully tie into stuff happening in the MCU. There's like some holes here and there, and there are some stuff that happens in the movies that would contradict stuff that happens in the Netflix stuff. So while I am happy that they're in the MCU, they have to do a lot of leaps in logic to make things tie in and make sense. So I don't know, and I don't even know if they'll be able to fix that. To be honest, I don't think they're I don't know if there's a way for them to like fix all the inconsistencies at this point.
Because like, I mean, if you want to be like that guy where you want to be like, you know how everybody says in like after Avengers, when you watch Iron Man 3, like, where are the Avengers at? If you watch Captain America Winter Soldier, where are the Avengers at? Thor the Dark World, where were the Avengers in that moment?
Right. And then like
It'll be the only time when you go, where's Spider-Man at? Because like if
yes.
Kingpin's doing this martial law where
Yes.
they're doing this curfew thing where to be no mass vigilantes around, I think Spider-Man would know something about
Would
it.
say something about that, or like
Yep.
the giant blackout in the city. Like
Yeah.
it's what does Spider-Man do with that moment? And then hearing that vigilantes are like illegal, like what does he do with that as well? So it's like,
Which is why the rights between Marvel Studios and Sony of the Spider-Man IP needs to come to an
Which
end,
I'll be
or they
honest,
need to loosen up.
I mean, honestly, I would not be that surprised if they didn't do it because at this point, Marvel really they never really it takes them a while to acknowledge some plot threads. Like Brave New World took like 17 years to acknowledge the events of Incredible Hulk and the or it took 4 years for them to acknowledge the Celestial and the Eternal. So I don't know how let's give them like 2 years to acknowledge, or more than 2 years to acknowledge what's happening in Daredevil.
oh my gosh, like I they're probably not even going to acknowledge anything in Brand New Day. They're probably not going to, and it's going to piss me off.
Yeah,
really
yeah,
gonna piss
they're
me off.
probably not going to acknowledge it. They're probably not going to acknowledge it in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which really sucks, because that just goes to show that that just goes to show that if frickin' Daredevil Born Again or anything about what's going on in New York does not get mentioned in Spider-Man Brand New Day, even if it's a street level film, then it's just going to show that Sony they're very insecure about themselves, and they think that everything they're doing with Spider-Man IP is good, when really it's not, and it proved that with Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
This is another reason why I think that Daredevil should be in the next Spider-Man movie, because of these important events that are happening in New York, and it's now gotten to a point where it feels weird that Spider-Man is not involved in any of this.
Have they established a timeline for this show throughout the MCU?
Yes, in the MCU timeline part of Marvel MCU timeline Disney Plus, it does say that Daredevil Born Again takes place right after Deadpool and Wolverine and Agatha.
Really?
It does. Look it up on Disney Plus.
Wow. Okay.
See, I don't even know about the timeline is just weird. It's weird because like I think I looked up the timeline one time. It's an Iron Man, the first Iron Man, even though it came out in 2008, it takes place like 2010, like 2 years later. Okay. Was it Avengers Endgame took place in 2023, like 4 years after? Oh, okay. I was like, I never took the whole timeline thing that seriously because it's just weird to me.
Yeah, I can understand.
Like the more they
always
try
go
to
by like a couple years after our present time.
right, it's like this goes to an overlying issue that I have with the MCU in general, as far as timelines and events that happen. Like, I feel like the MCU has gotten too big, and there's so many characters, and them trying to figure out a place for them in the timeline and events, it's starting to get more and more jumbled. I started really feeling it after Eternals, because it's like, because like we don't even have an established like higher being in the universe. I've talked about this before. Who watches over the universe? Is it the Celestials? Is it the Sorcerer Supreme? Is it the Watchers? Is it was it Kang? Was it like, is it the Time Variance Authority?
If
like,
it was Kang, they completely shot themselves in the foot by replacing him rather than just simply recasting.
Right. And
Oh,
then you have Eternals that apparently have been here for thousands of years and are told not
they
to
didn't do shit.
not to interfere with human conflicts, even though Thanos is not a human
Well,
conflict.
I see
Okay.
online people are saying that episode 2 takes place on New Year's Eve, 2027. So Born
What?
Again is in the future of the MCU.
Oh, okay, so I
What?
looked at the timeline. So, okay, Captain America: Brave New World took place in 2027.
Okay.
Okay, and then the season 1, episode 1. Yeah, that what was it like? The first episode of Born Again was like New Year's Eve, 2026, and the rest is like 2027. And then Deadpool and Wolverine took place in 2024. That's when the movie came out. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The timeline is all over the place for this.
This timeline.
And that came from the showrunner. That it takes place within 2026, 2027.
Don't even get me started on the whole 8.5 year later from Homecoming.
Oh.
eight and a half. So Avengers was, hold on. Let me see. Let me do my math right now. So let's see. Avengers. When the Avengers take
the first
in
episode of Born Again would have to be 2025 when Foggy is killed, because it's what, a year later.
Yeah.
So 2026,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2027, New Year's.
Okay, so we got the
This is-
Avengers, right?
So where is Spidey in 2025, and 2026, and 2027?
2025, we got, let's see, Moon Knight,
Battle World,
Viper,
Doomsday.
Echo, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Love and Thunder, the Holiday Guardians of the Galaxy special, No Way Home. Where did that take place? Did it ever say? Hold on, No Way Home. I can't. It's just so blended in with everything that's going on. I can't even read all this whole stuff.
What is going on with this timeline?
So like, hold on. Let me go back.
We're in the future.
So let me go back to the Homecoming stuff. So we got the Avengers, right? So we established that the Avengers came out and it took place in 2012. 2012, right? So if you want to go with 8.5 years later, so let's see, like 2020. All right, let's see. Where's Homecoming? Homecoming 2020. Where's 2020? Doesn't say 20. So here's an interesting thing. 2019, 2022. There was nothing happening going on in 2019 through 2022. So where the heck is Homecoming? Let's see. According to my, where is it? There's so much shit I had to read. Homecoming, Okay, 2016.
What?
Oh my
Hold on.
God.
You need to tell me that the Avengers took place, the events in 2012. You said 8.5 years later. Then Homecoming took place in 2016. That is some major. Even though, so you mean to tell me that Marvel's timeline, the speed of time, is like GTA level, where everything goes by seconds now?
Just don't forget this: that She-Hulk and Echo are both take place in the same year, 2025.
And where the heck is No Way Home? 2024. This is wow. Okay.
Does anybody at Marvel have an idea of timelines and how they work?
Oh my god! Isn't Kevin Feige supposed to be like
Yes.
knowing all
I
this?
don't even know.
Hashtag
I don't-
Fire Feige.
We started by
Oh.
we start by the first Captain America, the first Avenger, 1943, 1945. Okay, Agent Carter, 1946. Then we skip to Captain Marvel, 1995. Okay, consistent. Like, hey, you started from the ground up, and then we get to Iron Man, 2010. Okay, sure. Then you got all the Phase 1 films in 2011, Avengers 2012. 2013 to I can't even, from 2015, it's where all the Phase 2 stuff. Okay, all right. Then we get to look at this. They even include the Netflix stuff. I don't even think that's even possible to include
Oh
that.
god! Oh good luck.
They even include the
Oh.
Netflix stuff, like Luke Cage, Daredevil. It's just so much to read. Like, come on. I can tell you. They show a calendar. If I see a calendar that says 2025, like when the movie's out or when the movie's like filming, and then the movie came out like 2026, and it was coming like 2030. It was like 2025. I'd be crazy. Oh boy, yeah. Timelines are a headache, man.
Marvel math, gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Bullseye.
Oh yeah, Bullseye. Oh,
Yeah, I thought Bullseye was great in the show. Um, I know there's gonna be people that complain about what he's able to do in the show, like as far as like the leaps in physics. Um, but for me personally, I was having a ball with that because uh guess what, guys? I love Colin Farrell's Bullseye from the from the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. I loved all the silly stuff that he was doing in that, and there was some stuff in this show that reminded me of Colin Farrell's Bullseye, with him taking his broken tooth and shooting it at somebody to kill them. That was freaking insane. I love
was
that
dope.
stuff.
that was dope.
But like, yeah, even though I didn't really love the CGI flipping in the first episode, I thought the fight with Daredevil and Bullseye I thought was very entertaining. And I liked that there was still some like conflict between him and Kingpin, and the attempted murder on Kingpin from him. I'm like, all of that I thought was very, very interesting. Of course, the big question is why did Matt save Kingpin from Bullseye? That was the whole big question people were having, and it's like, I'll be honest, I was actually kind of asking that question too. Why would he do that? I mean, I know it's like he has a moral compass of being like he doesn't believe in killing and stuff like that, but it's like, would Matt be the person going out of his way to take a bullet for him? I don't know. Does he feel like guilty because of what happened with Foggy, and that's affecting like him wanting to take a bullet for Kingpin? I don't even know. And then also seeing that Vanessa was setting all that up as well, so it's like,
Oh, Vanessa being revealed to have been the one that ordered the hit on Foggy. That was like, damn. Like, now
yeah.
Daredevil's got a bone to pick with her.
Yep. So the plot gets more and more complicated. But yeah, so Bullseye I thought, was utilized really, really well. I like the kills that he had, not only with the with the tooth, but like what was it? He threw scissors at people, other
Oh,
stuff that he's using. Like,
I thought the two thing was just that was silly.
I know, but once again, like I was enjoying it because like
I'm all for it though. I was like, wow, you can just like pick your tooth out and just be like, that's the
Dude,
bullet.
that's some Colin Farrell Bullseye shit right there. Killing the old lady with a peanut. That was it. It was that type of.
Like don't get that. Don't get to do any pet pistachios or some shit. Like, you hungry? Like, he goes, pistachios. Okay.
yeah,
That's how you get
exactly.
Oh, I love that stuff. I love it. Nitpick though. Just a little nitpick. I wish they gave him more of the costume that he has. Like, I wish they could have gave him a better costume. I know he has a version of that in the comics, but obviously everyone's thinking about the black and white costume with the white target on his forehead and stuff like that. I personally would have liked to have seen something like that, but that's a nitpick though. That's a nitpick.
That's whatever.
Still was really cool in the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, and can't wait to see what he does in season 2. I think he's gonna have an elevated role in that as well. But yeah, so what else happened in the show?
Matt taking the bullet for Fisk.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Like, I was surprised he did that. I really was surprised that he did that. Like even me just trying to think about why would he
There's
take bullets for Kingpin?
there's really no possible reason to take that bullet. Like, why?
Yeah,
Did they even mention it afterwards?
I
They
think
did.
they talked about
They
it in the
did.
hospital a little bit,
Yeah, they do.
but I don't think we got a concrete reason why he did that.
I don't see Batman taking a bullet for Joker. Sorry.
No, I don't think so. I do not think so. So yeah, that was one of the things that I did kind of have an issue with. Like he's probably like, I know, like mentally and emotionally he's all over the place because of, Foggy's death and him like coming close to killing people numerous times in the show, and it's like he's feeling like guilty and whatever like that. But it's just like, I just don't feel like Matt would go out of his way to protect Kingpin. Like if he gets shot, he gets shot, but it's not like he caused that to happen. It's like
Yeah.
circumstances. So I don't even know. I don't know. Don't have a concrete answer for that. That was one of the things that was frustrating me a little bit. So yeah, the whole thing with him like shutting down the city and martial law and stuff like that. So I guess that's going to play an even bigger factor in season 2.
Oh yeah.
They just did that in the comic books a few years ago.
Oh, look at that.
Devil's Reign. If you're interested in reading it,
Stuff is lining up perfectly. I can't. Interested to see how that's going to be implemented in
I feel like that plot point. I don't know. That sounds like when New York. Wait, I gotta wonder this. I wonder if Thunderbolts take place in New York. That final battle. If like, I don't know what Thunderbolts took place. Where does it take place?
Oh yeah, we're gonna find out. Like if that's
Yeah,
Thunderbolts
in
take
New
we're
York.
gonna find out real soon, man.
Thunderbolts
Like,
take place in 2012.
What?
I swear. Imagine in a scenario it would be like, okay, we got Thunderbolts with the Void just taking over the world in New York City, while simultaneously Kingpin is shutting down New York. I'm like, so like nobody gonna acknowledge that? I'll be laughing my ass off. If that takes place in the same year, in like the same month, like or like the same, or close to that same time frame, and Kingpin just like does like just quickly mention like, oh yeah, this giant guy in the black suit turn people to shadows.
I pray to God that's not New York. I pray to God it's not New York. It doesn't look like it's New York, so that's why I'm not like worried about it.
I'm
but
just saying, like, it's a city. I mean, most MCU films take place in New York, but we haven't seen anything other than New York. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, but the whole martial law thing, if that's what they're going to set up for season 2, and it's like that's where it just feels like it's going to be weird that other heroes that we know, like Spider-Man, stuff like that, not going to be involved at all. Like nothing's happening. Like he's not going to do anything, or if there are defenders still out there, like what are they going to do? Like we're just going to have Daredevil, the Punisher, and that's about it. Like maybe a White Tiger, probably not because
We'll
she's still
see.
young. But like I don't know. It does feel, once again, these major events, and then we're starting to ask the question more and more. Where are everybody? I think even like Thunderbolt Ross or Captain America would be like looking at that, being like, "What the heck is going on over here?" Like, I don't know.
I was, yeah, I have a theory. So just a funny theory. I guarantee you. So it would be just Daredevil and the rest just sitting in that bar, and then the rest of Thunderbolts just take place while they're just beating up the Void, and you're just sitting in the damn bar, but like just figuring out what to do with Kingpin, not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
But,
imagine Daredevil fighting the Void.
that's not happening.
He's
That is
already
not
like shadow.
happening. That
Like
is
shadow.
not.
Boom.
No. That's why Daredevil needs to stay in the streets. But oh, we haven't even talked that much about John Berthal as the Punisher. What do y'all think about him?
Yeah, I already said it. He was freaking great, man. He that scene between him and Daredevil when we first get reintroduced to him for the first time in years, it was so good. It was so good. Like
Yeah.
Punisher talking to Matt about well, what about Foggy? What would your little friend say? Like man, that was some good and heavy shit. And then I forgot to mention this part when he was even going on about he was talking about his kids and he was talking about he's like I see my kids every day in my fucking head when I'm dreaming. I'm like, wow.
Hey,
Like,
DL, I gotta head out.
Okay.
all right.
Thank you for having me. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you for
All
being
right,
on.
you too.
See you next time.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I think John Berthal was great. I think he's great at anything. I think like we don't get much of him, but the scenes that we got from him are worth it.
Oh, absolutely.
yes.
Like just his first appearance where he's in like his little locker room, his little man cave or whatever. Just them talking. That's great. Him teaming up with Frank. Like I love how first off, it's funny just how Matt just walks into his apartment and then Frank is already there. Just he's like, you ain't got no goddamn coffee.
yeah.
Ain't got no
Love it.
goddamn coffee. And then just that banter alone was like, yep, I'm gonna go get up and get my suit. It's like, was your ass hanging out? Just flicks him off.
Mm-hmm.
That chemistry is still there. And then just them two fighting the dirty cops, little fake Punisher guys.
Oh,
Like the dichotomy between Daredevil, which is knocking them out, and Frank just killing them like pew, pew. Mind you, whenever Matt's fighting, it's all in like normal motion. Whenever Frank's fighting, they're all slow mo, just like
Yeah. They want you to see that blood
you
gushing.
want to see that. Like this is rated
Yeah.
R. Yes,
Yes.
It's time, Marvel. Enough with
Yep.
this shit.
definitely.
Yes. Freaking awesome. John Berthal knocks it out of the park as Frank Castle. As you guys said, the chemistry, the dynamic between him and Matt still there. Love that there's still the conflict between Matt wanting to kill and Matt deciding not to, even when they're working together to fight those rogue cops. Like even when Frank is killing people, Matt's like, "Would you stop that? Stop killing people!" But like,
I like when he got like the one guy, like the one guy that killed Hector Ayala. So he was Frank was going to kill him, and then Frank was like, no, it's not worth it. It's like, oh, you're gonna let him live? But this guy, boom, just kills him, just nonchalant, like the other guy in the
Yeah,
in the
that
room.
was dope. That was dope.
yeah, that was great. That was great.
And the part with him finding the other like the rest, like Frank, like I love how he just like when him, Matt, and Karen. So Karen and Matt went off to do their thing, and then Frank is just sitting there. But when the walkie-talkie hits and the radio hits, it's like some events going on. He just like, well, gotta go back to work. Just gets up, grabs a shotgun, gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Like, just I like simple stuff like that. Like he's like, well, gotta go to work. Just gets up, it just grabs a shotgun, gotta get to go to work.
Yeah.
Yep. Just another day of work for Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we start concluding this discussion, I did want to bring up some things that we're probably going to see in season 2. Okay? Before we talk about this, does anybody care about me spoiling any possible things for season 2, or do we just want to skip it and just wait for season 2 to come out?
I'm okay. I'm
I
okay
don't-
if you spoil it.
I don't know anything about the season 2 stuff, so I don't really know.
Okay, because I'm referencing some leaked photos that have came out with the
Okay.
set for season
I
2.
think I know what you're talking about.
You're talking
I've
about
seen a
okay, the
couple of them.
suit?
Yeah, I'm
I'm
talking.
talking about the suit.
Yes, the suit.
Oh, that's not much of a spoiler. I mean, I've seen like the black and red. It looks good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks dope.
So I'll just put this out there for people that don't know about this. This is spoilers. So if you don't want to see this, you might want to now just for a minute. I'm just going to show a couple of things. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I initially thought that we were going to get this in season 1, but it turns out this is them filming for season 2. So I was like, oh man, I really want to see him in this. But seeing Charlie Cox in that black costume, oh man, I cannot wait to see him in this costume like this.
I gotta say, that looks way better than I thought.
Yeah. Like obviously you see
Yeah,
it
that
spray
this
tanned
looks
and
so
stuff like that, but
good.
Even dude, he got the double D on the chest
he got
too.
that double D on that
Yeah.
chest. Man, I am so excited. Like
Okay, all right. I mean, shoot. I've seen. I think I saw. I didn't see those pictures that you popped up. I think I seen like some grainy images, but that one I seen like, oh, that was like the most highest quality I've ever seen. It's like, okay, that looks way better than I thought.
oh yeah. I literally just Googled it and there it was. but but yeah, man, I cannot wait to see what they do for season 2, especially with them fighting the Kingpin's task force against the vigilantes. So that all that is really exciting. Did they say? Did they say? I know it's supposed to come out next year. Did they say what date for next year?
March.
March. Oh,
March.
okay.
That makes sense. Sometimes some shows come out like at least some seasons like come out like exactly like, almost a year, like every March or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like at least like somewhere around the springtime.
hmm
Yeah.
So good that we don't have to wait too long for this.
Yeah.
But but yeah, if there isn't anything else you guys want to talk about, we could start closing things out and getting to grades.
I mean, not really much. I'm just really glad that we got. I mean, finally got a good Disney Plus Marvel show. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've at least liked some of them. Most are just kind of I checked out, and like I never really watched them on their premieres. I kind of just either wait them to binge. That's what I did for Agatha, because literally Agatha came out the same week as the Penguin. Because I was mostly like, oh yeah, Penguin all day, bro. I was like,
Oh
Agatha,
yeah,
bro.
Penguin all the fucking way.
Yeah, Penguin all day, Agatha, which it's an okay show. It's not something I would watch again. What else? Loki. I didn't even watch Loki weekly. But I think I watched it on where it was together, because I think I was at that point where they were just oversaturating with other TV shows that year. So yeah, this is like the first Disney Plus Marvel show where I was actually pretty gripped by it, not just checked out. Just keep looking at my phone or looking at my computer for like 2 minutes and just look at the screen of what's something to happen. It was like boom, boom, glued to the screen, boom.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I am definitely confident to say that this is my favorite live action Disney Plus Marvel show. This is what I'm talking about when I say that I want good storytelling and good character development in a show. This is what I've been wanting them to do. Like shouldn't be that hard for them to figure out. But I'm glad that they're finally starting to crack the code. Um, it's great to see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin and Daredevil. Um, I'm glad that they are now being implemented into the MCU, and this show feels pretty in line with what we have seen from the Netflix shows. Not saying that I don't personally think it is better than the Netflix stuff. There is still some issues that I have with it, but still, it feels like a worthy successor to it. And I think this is a decent starting point for people that have not seen the Netflix stuff and want to be introduced to the Daredevil character. I think this would be a good start for them. I'm glad that it's TVMA was back to being adults, back to being violent, and it's absolutely glorious.
Which is actually TVMA, not something to get the people to be like, oh yeah, more M-rated stuff.
Yeah, just your Disney Plus is about to get crazy, but yeah.
Now it's gotten crazy though. We
Now
can
it's
admit
gotten-
on that.
Yes, it did. But yeah, I thought that the stuff with Matt as a lawyer, I thought was just as interesting as him in the suit. The politics and everything with Kingpin being mayor, I thought was very interesting. I thought the use of Bullseye was great. Muse, even though we wish he didn't get killed off, he still was very interesting villain as well. The supporting characters are great. Glad to see Karen back and Foggy being used in the story, even though they killed him off. Heather was okay. Um, Matt's partner with at the law firm, she was.
Oh yeah,
I forgot her too. She was pretty good.
yeah, she was all right.
Um,
I forgot her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Right.
Kirsten.
Kirsten, yeah,
Okay, Kirsten. Okay.
yeah, she was cool. The White Tiger stuff that was very cool.
Oh
and
yeah.
definitely setting up for more things that they could do with the mantle in the future. But yeah, overall, this is just a great show. This is a step in the right direction for Marvel. I'm glad that they knew how important this version of Daredevil was for the fans, and like they did not disappoint. While yes, there was some weird stuff with there's some logic holes in the story here and there. The CGI was not great in places. There's some definite comic book logic in the physics and stuff that people are able to do that they didn't necessarily do in the Netflix stuff, but still it feels like it keeping the spirit and the essence of what we loved from Daredevil from Netflix. So I will give Daredevil Born Again an A minus.
Okay.
All right. Darkness Under the Wind.
Okay. So I will say this. Every single episode in this show, I said it before, I'm going to say this again. Every single episode in this show was so good. Like every episode was a 5 out of 5. So I am going to be giving this not a 10 out of 10. The only reason being is because the lack of screen time we see of Matt as Daredevil, which is something I just do not like. Like, for example, I said this before, I'll say this again. For example, Moon Knight. We don't see much of him in the suit, even though it made sense as to why Matt was taking a break from being Daredevil, why he was like retired, so to speak, because what happened with Foggy, which is understandable. But you could have like quickened it up just a little bit so that we can have just a little bit of like screen time of Daredevil in this show, so that way this doesn't feel more Matt Murdock centric and this doesn't feel like it's not a Daredevil show. Like that's all I was looking for. So hopefully that changes in the next season, which it likely will, and I'm all for it. And I'll say this though, so I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Now, is this equally as good? Is this the best MCU Disney Plus show right now? Not yet. We have yet to see Daredevil Born Again season 2. I am definitely going to be like looking forward to see what's going to happen with that when it comes to the story, and if we're going to be seeing a lot more of Matt as Matt in the Daredevil suit, which it looks like obviously he is going to be Daredevil in it. But man, I'm excited either way though. The storytelling was off the charts in this first season. I can't wait to see what they do next season. And I can't wait to see more of Daredevil, because that is something they need to fix up, because I did not like that in this first season. So that's why I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. So I'm even going as far to say that this is equally as good as Loki season 2, which Loki season 2 was the more superior season to that show. And I can also say confidently that my rankings of some of the best MCU projects that we have gotten post Infinity Saga, them being all of Loki, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine, I can confidently say this is joining that list because of how good this show was. So again, 9 out of 10. Can't wait to see what they do in the next season. And yeah, man. Hopefully in the rest of the MCU we just get good projects in the MCU, especially Disney Plus MCU projects that are equally, at least equally as good as this and Loki season 2.
Absolutely. All right, Blue Jay.
Like I said, this was great. It was a great show. I do think that creative overhaul was a right thing to do
Oh,
because
absolutely.
I do find out that this was a mixture of mostly the old crew and the new crew, because I figured that the first episode was by the new crew, then you got episodes 2 and 7 by the old crew, you got 8 and 9 by a mixture of the two. It was a weird production that got going on, and I was surprised that it came out as good as it was.
Yeah, I know.
And it came out to be like the absolute best of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, the best MCU, at least like in the MCU live action or whatever. Like I said, Daredevil and X-Men are like neck and neck, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm like excited for their upcoming shows now. I'm a little cautious about them. You never know. They got whatever they got. Just because you got one good show doesn't mean the other ones are that great, or the other ones will be great.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. That is
now,
true.
one show I'm actually looking forward to, that is Ironheart, mainly because I actually like her in Wakanda Forever. I actually like her, the actress that played her. I like her from the movie. That comes out June 24th of this year. I actually do see how they got cooking up. It's been a good while since I've heard anything from it, so hopefully that's worth it. I hope so. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much like what I've said. It's I would give it a 9. I'll pretty much the same thing. We give it a 9.
All right, all of us are
In
A
terms of
minuses,
season 1,
9.
of course.
All right. Well, that is our thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. Tell us out there, what did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? How does this compare to the Netflix Daredevil? How does this compare to the other Disney Plus Marvel shows? Do you guys think it's in the right direction? Do you guys think this kept the spirit and essence of Charlie Cox's Daredevil? Or do you guys think it was a disappointment? Comment your thoughts down below and let us know. So the next MCU project coming out is Thunderbolts asterisk. So tune in.
All right.
I
Yeah.
guess the asterisk is the main logo for the team.
I guess so.
They're marketing the asterisk a while. Like there was the post of the asterisk with the characters inside of it. It's like, okay, that's the logo, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually starting to get really excited for Thunderbolts. So
It surprisingly looks really good.
yeah.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm warmed up to Thunderbolts now. I still think it's essentially Marvel's answer to Suicide Squad, but the more trailers I've seen and the more the posters I've seen, it's like, okay, this is a bit more sure of itself. It's not like another Marvel film. At least it has some sort of personality to it.
Right.
And then you got Ironheart in June. Then you got Fantastic Four, which I'm like, oh, fuck yes, dude.
Yep. Hope
we'll
that goes well too.
Yeah, hopefully.
But if you guys enjoyed this stream, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. I know there's a good percentage of you that are watching my stuff that are not subscribed. So if you watch more than 3 of my videos, and that means you enjoy my channel. So that means you should probably subscribe if you want to see more, you know? But don't forget to subscribe to Bruce's first channel, Kingdom of Nerds. Glad he was able to come on. Don't forget to subscribe to Blue Cinema and follow Darkness Under the Wind as well. But that is all we have.
Come follow me. Come follow me.
Yes. But that is all we have for you, Marvel fans, and we will catch you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace.